Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel School of Automation. In this video we will learn about in how many ways we can launch any web browser with respect different version of Selenium API using Java as a programming language. So let's see all possible way to open a web browser. So here we will discuss all these three possible way to open a web browser. So in use case 1 we will try to open a web browser with the help of setting up path of executable driver file, and in use case 2 we will try to open a web browser with the help of WebDriver Manager API, and in use case 3 we will try to use inbuilt Selenium Manager in order to open a web browser. So let's see the practical example of all these three use cases. So here this is a basic project, Maven project, and in this package we have all these examples. So let me open the first one. So here so this test case is related to, I will say, executing or opening a browser with the help of executable driver file path. So as name suggested, like, so this is a simple print statement, and then here I am just setting up property which talks about like this is the location of WebDriver executable file, and it will launch Chrome driver. And here I'm just creating the object of Chrome driver class, and here I'm opening the Facebook page, and here in this line number 17 I'm just getting the current page title and printing on console, and then finally I'm just closing the browser. So mainly this use case is belongs to open a browser by setting up path of executable driver file. So let me execute this one. So here you can see Chrome driver was started successfully. Now it will launch. Yes, it's getting up, and now you can see Facebook page is open up. Now it's loading. Yeah, it's, I think test is finished. So here you can see this is the page title, and finally it's close the browser. So this is use case 1, and now in use case 2, with the help of WebDriver Manager API, we will try to open a web browser. So this is use case 2 program, and as name suggested, with WebDriver Manager. And in this test case, here I am just using WebDriver Manager method. With the help of WebDriver Manager class, I am calling this Chrome driver and then setup method, so that it will open a Chrome browser. And here in line number 16 I am just opening a Facebook page, and again I am getting the title of the page and print it on the console, and finally close the browser. So before executing this test case, I would like to show where I'm adding WebDriver Manager related dependencies. So in this POM file, here I have added this dependency related to WebDriver Manager, where version number is 5.3.2. Now let me open it again. So now let me execute this test. So yeah, Facebook is open up, and again it's fetching the title of the page and closing the browser itself. So here we are not means providing any kind of executable file path. Directly we are using WebDriver Manager and launching the browser. Next is use case 3, where we are using inbuilt Selenium Manager. So this is a new feature introduced in Selenium 4.6.0 version. So it's a new feature. Here we don't need to provide any kind of path of executable file. We don't need to use explicitly driver manager API. So with the help of inbuilt Selenium Manager, we can directly able to launch a Chrome browser or any kind of browser directly. So let's see the practical example of this. So let me open this one, test example 3. So here this is again a simple print statement, and here I'm just creating a Chrome driver, object of Chrome driver, and directly opening the URL of Facebook site, and then printing the current title of the page, and then closing the browser. So let me execute this. So by default, you will get this exception. The path of driver executable must be set. So this error we are getting because of in this pom.xml file, I'm using older version of Selenium. So till 4.5.3, Selenium don't provide any kind of inbuilt WebDriver manager. So explicitly we have to provide either WebDriver manager, or we have to give path of the executable file like this. But as I already mentioned in 4 point, sorry, yeah, in 4.6.0, Selenium provide inbuilt WebDriver manager capability. So we don't need to provide any kind of executable path, or we don't need to use this WebDriver manager. So here I just update the version number. Now let me execute this test again. Before that, let me fix this error related to testng. Just 1 minute. So here I'm adding a testng jar file so that we can use the feature of testng. Yeah, so now let me execute this test. See, now in this time we are not getting any kind of exception, and here you can see Chrome driver was successfully started. So here we are not using any kind of path setting related to executable, or we are not using any kind of WebDriver manager APIs. Let me open this site. So this is a change log for Selenium API, and let me navigate till, see here, in version 4.6.0, under this point, add initial support for Selenium manager. It means we don't need to explicitly use WebDriver manager API, or we don't need to provide path of executable file. This is the summary of all three use cases. So in first use case, we have to provide path of executable like this, and in use case 2 we have to use WebDriver manager, and in use case 3 we don't need to provide any kind of path of executable file, or we don't need to use any kind of WebDriver manager API. Simply with the help of creating Chrome driver object, we can launch the browser. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for new updates. Thank you.